You got a random text from a stranger, a friendly message, maybe a wrong number, and that one message cost some people their entire life savings. How do criminals in Southeast Asia steal $16 billion from ordinary people? Using nothing but a smartphone and a fake love story? How do they trap thousands of workers inside fortified compounds and force them to run the scam on you? And how did US authorities just pull off the largest cryptocurrency seizure in history? And is it actually enough to stop them? Stay until the end of this video, because what you're about to find out is more disturbing, more sophisticated, and more real than anything Hollywood has written. And if you want more stories like this every week, hit subscribe right now. We dig into the financial crimes they don't want you to understand. Let's go. To understand what just happened, you need to understand the scam at the center of it. It's called pig butchering. The name comes from a chilling piece of Chinese slang, sha zhu pan, literally meaning pig slaughter plate. The idea is exactly as brutal as it sounds. First, you fatten the pig. Then, you slaughter it. Here's how it works. Step 1. You get a message out of nowhere. A wrong number. A random match on a dating app. A friendly LinkedIn connection. Someone who seems warm, genuine, maybe even attractive. You chat. Days go by. Weeks, sometimes. They ask about your life, your family, your dreams, your relationship with money. They are patient in a way that real people rarely are. And that's the point. They are not just talking to you. According to investigators, they are following a script, a system designed by criminal enterprises to map your emotional vulnerabilities, identify exactly how much you trust them, and measure precisely when you're ready to be introduced to the opportunity. Step 2. The investment idea comes up almost casually. I've been making really good money on this crypto platform. You should try it. They show you their portfolio. The numbers look incredible. They walk you through signing up. You invest a small amount, and you actually see a profit. You can withdraw it. It's real. So you invest more, and more, and more. Step 3. The slaughter. One day, the platform is gone. The person is gone. The money is gone. According to data from Chainalysis, pig butchering scam revenue grew by nearly 40% in 2024 alone. Total crypto scam losses that year reached at least $9.9 billion on-chain, a figure analysts expect will rise above $12 billion as more addresses are identified. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirmed that these schemes resulted in over $16 billion in total losses for Americans. $16 billion, taken one relationship at a time. Now here's the part most people don't know. The person sending you those messages? In many cases, they are also a victim. According to court documents, unsealed in the Eastern District of New York and confirmed by multiple human rights organizations, these scam operations are run inside heavily fortified compounds, primarily in Cambodia and Myanmar, also known as Burma. Workers are recruited with fake job postings, ads that promise customer service roles, marketing jobs, tech positions, decent salaries, a fresh start. They arrive, and the job doesn't exist. Instead, according to investigators, they are handed a phone, given a script, and told to start messaging strangers around the world. If they don't hit targets, they face punishment. They can't leave. The compounds are guarded. The exits are controlled. The people running your scam are themselves trapped. At the center of this entire operation, according to US court filings, sits a company called Prince Holding Group. Its chairman, a 38-year-old Chinese-born businessman named Chen, also known as Vincent. Chen founded Prince Holding Group in Cambodia in 2015. On paper, it was a legitimate empire. Real estate, finance, hospitality, officially operating in more than 30 countries. But prosecutors say that beneath the corporate surface, Prince Holding Group had evolved into one of the most sophisticated, transnational criminal enterprises ever documented in Southeast Asia. According to court filings, Chen and his associates built a network of more than 100 shell companies and holding entities worldwide. Funds stolen from victims were routed through crypto exchanges and mining operations, converted into Bitcoin, then moved into private wallets. The compounds where the forced labor scam operations were run reportedly operated under names like Jinbei Casino and Golden Fortune Resorts. US officials stated they were connected not just to fraud and trafficking, but to extortion and even murder. This wasn't a group of bedroom hackers. This was an industry, but the infrastructure went even deeper than Prince Holding Group. Feeding the entire scam ecosystem was a Cambodian entity called Huione Group. According to FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, a division of the US Treasury, Huione Group laundered at least $4 billion in illicit proceeds. That includes funds from pig butchering operations and, according to FinCEN, even funds connected to North Korea-linked cyber heists. Huione operated what Chainalysis described as a peer-to-peer marketplace, Huione Guarantee, that functioned as a one-stop shop for scammers. Need fake investment platform software? Huione. Need money laundering services? Huione. Need scripts for grooming victims? Huione. According to Chainalysis researchers, by 2024, pig butchering had become so professionalized, so systematized, that running a scam operation no longer required technical expertise. Anyone with access to Huione Guarantee could buy everything they needed, off the shelf, like a franchise. And the AI revolution made it worse. According to a CNBC report from February 2025, scammers began using generative AI to create fake profiles. They generated synthetic voices for phone calls and even produced deepfake video calls. It became nearly impossible for victims to distinguish a real person from a manufactured identity. Between May 2021 and August 2022 alone, investigators traced at least $18 million stolen from over 250 American victims. The money flowed through shell entities operating in Brooklyn and Queens, New York. That was just the slice of the iceberg they could see. And then came October 14, 2025. The US Department of Justice, the US Treasury, and British authorities announced the largest coordinated action against cybercriminal networks in Southeast Asia. The target, Chen and Prince Holding Group. US federal prosecutors unsealed court filings in the Eastern District of New York. Authorities were seeking the forfeiture of 127,000 Bitcoin tied to wallets controlled by Chen and his associates. At the time of the announcement, that represented approximately $12 billion in value, the single largest crypto seizure ever attempted in connection with an international scam operation. Simultaneously, the Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, announced sanctions against 146 people and entities connected to Prince Group. They officially designated the network as a transnational criminal organization engaged in fraud, extortion, and human trafficking. FinCEN moved against Huione Group on the same day. They classified it as a primary money laundering concern and cut off its access to the US financial system. The DOJ described the network as one of the most sophisticated transnational scam operations ever documented. The UK imposed its own parallel sanctions on Chen and several Prince Holding Group affiliates. This signaled that it was not a unilateral American action. It was a coordinated global strike. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent called it, and I'm quoting directly, a global response to a global crime. Chen, as of the time of this video, has been named in US court filings, but has not been confirmed as apprehended by US authorities. Cambodia does not have an extradition treaty with the United States, which creates significant legal complexity, according to reports from legal and financial journalists. The 127,000 Bitcoin remains the subject of active forfeiture proceedings. This is not a closed case. It is an ongoing legal action. The Huione group, following the FinCEN designation, was cut off from corresponding U.S. bank accounts. But Chainalysis researchers have noted that pig butchering operations have historically adapted quickly to enforcement pressure, shifting platforms, jurisdictions, and crypto infrastructure within weeks. As recently as early 2026, the U.S. Secret Service published a public alert warning Americans about the continued growth of pig butchering scams, calling them one of the fastest-growing fraud threats facing consumers. And the victims, the $9.9 billion, the $16 billion, is largely gone. Cryptocurrency transactions, once confirmed on the blockchain, are irreversible. There is no chargeback, no fraud protection, no insurance. For many of the people who lost their savings, their retirement funds, their children's college accounts, there is no recovery. As for the forced laborers inside the compounds, some have been freed through diplomatic pressure and NGO interventions, according to human rights organizations. But thousands more are believed to remain trapped across multiple countries in Southeast Asia, according to ongoing reports. So, what does all of this actually mean for you? Lesson 1. Unsolicited contact is a red flag at any level of sophistication, whether it's a wrong number, a LinkedIn request, or a dating app match from someone who seems almost too perfect. If the relationship eventually steers toward an investment opportunity, treat it as a serious warning sign. According to FBI guidance, no legitimate investment platform is introduced through a romantic or new personal contact. Lesson 2. The existence of a profit does not mean the platform is real. In almost every pig butchering case, victims could see profits in their account and even make small early withdrawals. This is by design. The platform is fake, the profits are manufactured. The ability to withdraw small amounts is the mechanism that makes you invest the larger amounts they actually want. If you can't independently verify a platform through regulatory databases, including the SEC's EDGAR system or the CFTC's registration database, do not invest. Lesson 3. Crypto is not protected the way your bank account is. The victims in these cases lost money that cannot be clawed back. The moment cryptocurrency moves on the blockchain, it's gone. This is not a criticism of crypto as a technology. It is a fact about its mechanics that scammers exploit deliberately. Lesson 4. This crime has two layers of victims: the people being scammed and the people doing the scamming, who in many cases are themselves trafficking victims, trapped in forced labor compounds with no way out. Both deserve recognition. Both deserve intervention. Lesson 5. Global enforcement is still catching up. The October 2025 action was unprecedented, and it still hasn't resulted in confirmed arrests of the primary alleged organizer. The legal walls, no extradition treaties, offshore jurisdictions, rapidly adapting criminal infrastructure mean this is a problem that enforcement alone cannot solve. Consumer awareness is not optional. It is part of the defense. $16 billion, taken not through hacking, not through a data breach, not through anything most people would recognize as a crime in progress, taken through patience, through a text message, through trust, through the human instinct to believe that a stranger reaching out might actually be worth knowing. The largest cryptocurrency seizure in history has been announced. Sanctions have been placed on 146 people and entities. FinCEN has cut off the launderers, and the compounds, according to reports, are still running. Which brings me to the question I want to leave with you today. If this operation grew to $16 billion in losses, despite years of warnings from the FBI, the SEC, the Secret Service, and financial regulators worldwide, what does that tell us about how well-equipped we are to protect people in the age of AI, crypto, and digital relationships? I want to know what you think. Is this primarily a law enforcement failure, a financial regulation failure, or is it something none of our existing systems were built to handle? Drop your answer in the comments. Genuinely, I read everyone. And if this story changed how you think about who's on the other end of that message, subscribe. Because next week, we're going deeper into a financial story that's just as big and far less covered. You don't want to miss it.